everybody, it's Mika with the Audubon Center at Debs Park, and today I am back here with another backyard birding tips video, and we are going to be talking about how to distinguish the common raven from an American crow. So this is one of the most common questions that we get at the center, so we wanted to take a moment to put together this video to provide you with some tips on how you can distinguish these two birds. So first, let's take a look at some of the similarities that can make these two birds so difficult to distinguish. Ravens and crows are both large, robust birds. They are both entirely black, including their legs, beaks, and eyes, and both birds' feathers have a slight iridescent sheen to them. Both birds can be seen in California year-round. They're both in the corvid family of birds, which also includes jays, magpies, and more. Corvids are extremely smart. Crows have especially good memory and facial recognition abilities, and ravens are expert problem solvers. They are both highly adaptive and are able to survive in a wide range of habitats, and they will both eat pretty much anything they can. Both birds are curious and charismatic, although crows are known to be more audacious and aggressive than ravens. Now let's take a look at some of the distinguishing features between ravens and crows. As with all bird identification, you'll want to take a number of factors into account when distinguishing these two birds. Because of all the similarities I just mentioned, we'll be taking a close look at some specific differences when it comes to the bird's body shape, their calls and vocalizations, and their behavior. The most obvious difference between the two is probably their size, although this can be difficult to judge if the two birds aren't in the same vicinity. Both birds are large, but ravens are about 30% larger than crows. So if you see a bird and think, wow, that looks like a really huge crow, then chances are it's probably a raven. Another prominent difference is the shape of the bird's tails. Crows' tails are shorter and flat on the end, creating a rounded square or fan shape, while ravens' tails are longer and the feathers come to a point at the end, creating a triangular shape. Their tail shape is easiest to spot when the birds are in flight. When looking at the bird's feathers, you can also take a look at their throat. Ravens typically have longer, shaggier feathers on their throat, while crows' necks are smooth. When it comes to their beaks, ravens' beaks are thicker and sturdier than crows' beaks, which are smaller and narrower. Ravens' beaks also tend to curve down more towards the end, while crows' beaks are flatter. Next, we'll look at some differences in behavior between the two birds. In flight, ravens typically soar through the air similar to hawks, while crows will do much more flapping. Ravens are usually found solo or in pairs, while crows are more social and can be found in large groups or murders. Ravens do, however, roost together in large groups in the evenings. This is something we often see in Debs Park. Finally, another great way to distinguish ravens and crows is by their vocalizations. Ravens can learn a wide variety of sounds, while crows have a more limited repertoire. Ravens typically have a lower, hoarse, croaking call, while crows make a higher-pitched, nasally, cawing sound that I think most people are familiar with. Listen to the two birds here. As ravens know many sounds and can mimic other birds, including crows, you'll want to look at the bird's calls in combination with some of the other identifying factors that I've just mentioned in order to accurately ID the bird. Alright, so taking all of that into account, you should now be able to tell whether that big black bird that you just saw was a raven or if it was a crow. And if you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you so much for watching, and happy backyard birding!